Pops and chair shots. Get it right.
Welcome back, Wrestle Nerds. Welcome back, Wrestle Nerds. Victor Villain here. Let's see who's making their way to a ring.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Mr. Nerd. Yo,
it'd be nice if I had a picture.
Pretty chubby flaco, dímelo mi gente.
Surprise, surprise. It's JP Savage.
Hey,
like a thumb in Ricochet's bum.
Wow.
I don't even know it has to do anything with it, but old school.
What?
All of that made sense pre-production, I promise. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. We thank you again for joining us this week. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for showing love each and every week. Gentlemen, welcome to the room where it happens. How the fuck we
what happened to your background? Yo, your background.
Yo, you're going to have to see some shit because it's a new system we're going over here, new layout, and it got a little darker. I don't know.
Oh, I see. You've been watching the movie from Pixel and shit. Adam Sandler's Pixel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got the 720 version.
Hey, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe, like and subscribe on YouTube, Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, on Instagram, HPC2 Sweet, IG, Twitter, everywhere. Check the closet. Check your mom's closet. Check your sister's closet. Check everybody's closet because there's bugs and you need exterminators.
Check your mama's
fucking ropes.
Check your mama's panty drawer, just like I do every single night.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's healthy to get some cardio in, right? I guess.
Get this cardio in.
Let's do that. Be sure to wear a mask out there, guys, because apparently it's the law in some places. Kevin Owens would recommend it. Surely this week he revealed that he confronted Vince McMahon and said, "Yo, what's up with these masks? Why are we not wearing masks?"
I mean, yo, why the fuck not, yo? Why is this such a problem? Like, why is this such a weird and abstract concept to wear a mask? It shouldn't be this hard. Like, why is it this hard?
Because freedom and America.
I don't know if people were refusing. It's just they weren't. The thing is they weren't. Because apparently when he went to that office and he confronted him on this one occasion, I mean, apparently now it's a rule. They've enforced it. So
I think it's a situation where nobody said anything, but they knew they would be scorned if they wore the mask. Therefore, it was assumed it's not allowed. And then when Kevin spoke up, obviously it rubs the upper heads wrong, but they gotta abide by it because it's what has to happen right now. It is not that simple. Yo, it's simple. Wear your mask. What the fuck? What is it?
Plain and simple.
Just wear your mask. Wear a panty if you want. Yo, wear something to protect your face. Like it's not that serious. It's not about you.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands
in your life,
your ass.
and wear a mask with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that serious.
I mean,
it's not
definitely
that serious.
Credit for him standing up like that, man. Because he could have just easily just taken that shit.
I mean, that shit. I think Kevin Owens had a family member pass away recently as well, so it hits him on I think it was his wife's grandfather. So this is something that's impacted everyone in a very different way, and the reality is, yes, I said it. You're gonna have leaders in certain locker rooms, and Kevin Owens is one of those leaders.
Sick.
He always has been outspoken, but in the right moments. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, when old boy from I forgot their names now, the faction that Kevin Owens shouted out on Twitter. He's like, "Really? This is how you feeling?" That he was supporting America and all.
Right. The Forgotten Sons.
That's Forgotten Sons. Yeah, see, we forgot because Kevin Owens. So I appreciate it. You know what? Everyone that's working in that facility right now is safer because Kevin Owens says something. And that's what has to happen.
Or more leadership needs to be
especially as we go into extreme rules. Come on, guys.
The goalposts are weird, right? Like in the same place where we're letting prisoners out of jail because of COVID, like we also are going back to school in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? In a lot of places. So
Yep.
it's weird to know, like, when is wrestling, like, when are people going to be going back to, like, a WWE or an AEW show? Like, when's that happening?
I think immediately. No.
Tomorrow?
Well, we should note though, during Fight for the Fallen, there were fans in the stands.
There were.
Like in the upper the first deck, very spread out.
Right.
But there were fans in the stands.
You know where else there were fans, JP?
Ooh.
This Saturday.
Saturday.
7-11, you could say. It was the benefit from Synergy Wrestling, where they brought everybody together for a nice little wrestling show, raised funds for the Nurses Foundation. It was all good vibes. Warhorse was out there. Shout out to Warhorse, and more on that in a few.
Brandon Kirk was out there doing big things, becoming #1 contender. You already know.
Okay.
Listen, but Synergy, they had people in the stands. They were safe, socially distanced, mask-wearing individuals.
Yo, great job. Great job with the social distancing, man.
Absolutely,
it was dope.
right?
Everybody was nice and separated. It was cool. Good
So
vibe.
do you think we can see that at the E? Like, is that a thing that can even happen?
I think it will. I just think realistically right now, we're not going to see fans in the stands until January. Because you have right now the NBA, MLB, and NFL about to start. And every day they're getting a surplus of numbers of players testing positive.
Right.
And I mean, I don't have to be Nostradamus to understand that the numbers speak for themselves. If it continues before they start, and you have teams that instead of 15 players in the back, now they got 6, you can't play. So I don't care what G League team, like at that point is ridiculous, right? At that point, why even try to finish? You're just gonna get even more people sick.
Just give the Lakers a championship, baby. Just give them a championship.
Well, according to the CDC,
Knicks.
those numbers are going to be changing pretty soon. But that's not what we're going to get into.
Pero that's for another podcast. That's for another podcast.
Yeah, I think there's too many fans for WWE events for them to be that socially distant. It's gonna be some work. It's gonna be a process to get that shit arranged, organized at least. I don't see them separating. So many people have this thing, man. Even Rusev apparently has this now. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't see how we're still opening, yo. Like, I mean, God bless everything comes out well, and the death rate apparently is down from some reports.
Yo, but if you think about it, Lana's had it rough because her parents have battled COVID, and now they're kind of like getting over it. They're in those final stages of getting over it, and now Rusev has it. So, do you guys think that Lana's been tested? You guys think that she's good?
I'm sure they've probably.
Why are you asking that question? TCF, why are you asking that question?
I don't know, bro. There's like a little common denominator between her parents and her husband and her lover.
I thought you were trying to insinuate that, because Bobby Lashley's 44th birthday was this week, that she had to get tested.
Yo, maybe
happy birthday, Bobby Lashley.
Tested too.
Hey,
just saying.
Hey, I don't know,
bro.
They work together. This shit is dangerous. It's from close contact. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Exactly.
I
don't know. She could have sneezed. She could have sneezed, tripped, and landed on his dick.
Let's move this motherfucker right along before we move this along.
Tegan Knox.
All the things she said, running through my head.
Oh, apparently. Old School, talk to me a little bit.
Dope.
So Tegan was known to have a partner amongst her family and her friends. Well, actually, just amongst her family. She spoke with Sonia Deville, who is kind of like the resident LGBT ambassador for the E, and she got some advice, and she decided to come out to her fans and to the rest of the world. And you know what? Good for her for living her truth. And you know what? More people should be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. That was just a really shitty transition, but good for her. Good for her. She's coming out.
What I'm excited about is seeing wrestlers that come out and are able to be in their truth. I mean, it's only going to enhance their performance because they're going to be comfortable. They're not going to be hiding. They're going to be able to be their true selves. So the best is yet to come for Tegan Knox. I don't know if I will say that about the main event yesterday, but the best is yet to come for Tegan Knox.
I mean, the match wasn't that bad. But we'll get to it.
Well, that's why I said we'll get to
it. She's still a snack.
Oh,
next on the agenda, speaking of truths, I want to know who's telling the truth here in this next story. Jericho was compared to Sebastian Bach. They said he looked like him. Yeah, gracias. And who's lying here, guys?
Who?
He's Jericho or Bach? Who sings better? Who's the guy that
Bacalao?
Bacalao?
Yeah.
Match.
Johann Sebastian
What's his
Bach.
name?
I put the wrong syllable on flash.
Okay. Bach. Yo lo conozco, de la aquí, por allá. Yeah, Bach. Bach. Because ain't nobody talking about
Go back to whatever hole you came from.
Wow.
This was I think this will work, yo. I think there's like a show coming out of this, and there's like they're gonna sing each other a fucking song, and it's gonna be
you know what I realized after watching Fight for the Fallen is that right now Chris Jericho is selling his soul to put AEW over. Like he'll do whatever it takes. Like the way he said, "I'm coming Lawrence Justice." Like he repeated that shit to the end, bro. He's like, "I took that fucking spot, and I'll make sure you know about it." Fucking 3 hours later and shit. Like he's doing whatever possible.
He was,
so if it's gonna get it over, he's like, "I'm with it."
That man is gold on commentary. God bless.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Like it looks like he's just having a good time, and he throws himself into it, and looks like he's just gonna enjoy himself, like whatever, and he's gonna do whatever makes him laugh.
Well, that's the thing, right? He's like in the FU stage of his career, where it's like it's all for him. Like he's done everything he's needed to do to prove what he is as a performer, and now it's like, what brings me happiness?
Now, what happens when this sucks? You're gonna run out of steam, like everybody does. Like everybody.
He'll have his billionaire's money and not really care.
But I think this is what now this opens the door for him. Like when he cannot go in the ring anymore, he could be a commentator. Like he's great.
I love the idea of.
That elongates his career. But have y'all noticed? Like he catches himself. You know, he knows his persona as a heel, but he catches himself giving props to the wrestlers. And then when he catches himself, he's like, "Oh, but he sucks!" Right? Like he throws it in there.
He does.
You know what I mean? Which is dope. It's dope, and I love it. It's Chris Jericho. That's why he's on the Mount Rushmore, right?
But see, like all that shit is permissible as long as like you remember the baseline, right? And he always remembers the baseline. The baseline story is that I'm the bad guy. I'm like this entitled little prick. I've got this kind of particular angle, and as long as everything kind of jumps off that, then it's good, right? As soon as like he starts, but I mean he's really good at like changing direction too. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I would say like when AEW first started to where we are now, although he's been the same, he's gotten so much better.
Yeah, he definitely has. The one problem I have is that Excalibur disappears every time Jericho's on the mic. It's
because Jericho takes over.
Yeah, I think he kind of ball hugs a little bit. But would this be the case where we would have as I'll say, like a first string champion who's an announcer? Usually when we get an announcer, they're like a third string regional heavyweight champion who like was okay in the ring, but they're better on the mic. This is like the first time we've seen like a thoroughbred. Huh?
You're very nice to Taz. You're very nice to Taz, Oscar.
Hey, listen, and
Oh,
Lawler.
he's talking about
I'll throw Lawler. I'll throw JBL in there.
Yeah, you're talking about
Macho Man. Don't forget about Macho Man.
Oh,
yes.
About Triple H?
yes.
Don't forget about
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
That's a valid point, though, right? Like,
Mean Gene.
it's never like a top tier star at their top tier.
Yeah,
like, because right now he's on top. Like, he's fucking
Bobby Heenan.
But even Bobby Heenan wasn't a wrestler while he did it. But Bobby Heenan, in my opinion,
Bobby Heenan was like a journeyman when he was a wrestler.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. He's money on the mic, too, man.
Well, there again with Samoa Joe, amazing talent, but he was never he never held the big belt.
And Joe gets hurt. He gets hurt in like really shitty moments.
Well, he's also older. He's older.
It's been unlucky, yeah.
Freaking commercial, man. That sucks.
I think that Samoa Joe is a great example of somebody that can really flourish in a non-wrestling role in the WWE. I don't think a lot of guys could make that transition. Like I love Kevin Owens, but if Kevin Owens did commentary every night, I don't think it'd be very good.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, same thing with Jericho. Jericho is a lot of fun, but he's a ball hog, right? Like you guys said. And so if I had to hear him every week, all the time, like they're doing it now, there's no fans. He's trying to like consume space, right? Saying a lot, like just trying to like keep people busy. But I can't see that be a reality all the time unless he tones it down. And Samoa Joe is really good at like knowing his place in like where to be effective, you know? Who else could be like a good commentary transition?
I think The Miz.
The Miz?
Miz got a lot of personality behind that mic.
I think that
he's the host of the show, The Cannonball.
That show. Did anybody catch that? After
I saw a little bit of it. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yo, shout out to Roxy Diaz.
I think The Miz is a good example of someone that might not be able to get someone else over. I don't know. I've never heard him really try to get other people over. I think he's good at getting himself over. And he's good at talking for himself. But when you're not
necessarily,
why?
You forget the time when he mentored Daniel Bryan to become the champion that he is today. He was constantly on the commentary, big upping his rookie. Come on now. In the great times of the WWE.
Because of what he did. It wasn't like, it's not, fuck Miz, man. Like, there's no way. Dude, he's always about getting him over. And, like, while there's a thing to that, you also got to know when to eat shit. And I don't think Miz is, like, I don't know. I think that his character as it stands now, like, clashes with that.
So,
right?
So you don't think Miz could pull off a Corey Graves?
No, I don't.
Because he's very self-loathing at the same time, but he also puts people over.
I mean, in real life, he seems to be real level, and like I guess like the Miz obviously is his character, or whatever. But I have a hard time seeing it, or like for him to do that on a consistent basis. He's just not the kind of guy that I see really putting other people over. Like even other people on the mic, like when you're gonna have a match, you kind of put over the other guy. Like there's a semblance of like an analysis of like, well, this is gonna be a challenge, right?
Yeah, Byron Saxton knows a lot about that. Shut up, Saxton.
That's part of the problem.
Facts.
You know who I miss? Mike Tenay.
Mike Tenay.
No,
Todd Pettingale.
Jeez, okay. Who was that?
Wasn't he in
You remember Todd Pettingale? He was in the Indian House pay-per-view last year.
That was like
old, man.
WWE or WWF superstar.
Dial now. WWE
Indian House.
Today I like just because he fed you all the info you didn't know about. Like he got over maneuvers and styles.
Did he?
He gave her the
You know what I
behind the
really
scene
like?
look.
I like when Taz like fucking starts really like breaking down moves
Yep.
and like how like these moves build up to this and about. He tells a really good story. I'd prefer him not to manage Brian Cage and to fucking be in the booth. I think he's better. AEW is trying to find itself, right? Like I get it. Like it's right now it's trying to figure shit out, and JR has to be in the booth because it's a big name and like it's a small company and whatever. Shivani does a great job, right? Marquez gets lost in the sauce. Not Marquez.
Fucking Excalibur knows he knows the name of like every wrestling move out there. So that's why they put him on commentary.
But he doesn't share them. So what's the point?
But he has a hard time finding his voice, right? Because
he does.
You know,
because they don't want to step on each other's toes.
But he's commentating with two legends. You know what I mean? That's
it's
the problem.
Gotta be rough, man. You jump into the booth with the
Here's-
Jim Ross.
Listen, don't get in a jacuzzi if you're afraid of getting hard on. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Ooh.
pause.
What?
You want to play with the big dogs?
No, whoa, listen.
We're not playing with the dogs with their hard-ons in the jacuzzi.
Calm
I
down,
love
You
when
Michael
want to be a
bring
Cole.
up
commentator with two legends. You got to bring the sauce.
I'll tell you what. They have a really nice set of announcers. Like they have like 3 commentary teams, which is like a really nice thing to have for a company that's looking to expand.
100%.
They want to eventually have a second show, and that second show they're grappling with it being different. They want the second show to feel. Tony Khan was with Eric Bischoff on this podcast, and Tony Khan was talking about and Eric Bischoff said it was the same thing that happened with him in Nitro and Thunder, and it's the same thing that happens with Raw and SmackDown. You have a really hard time of differentiating both shows, right? Like, why should I watch Monday if on Thursday I can see, like, you know what I mean? Like the bullshit I didn't catch, and then that kind of full effect and blah, blah, blah. So Khan he wants to have a unique second product. And a lot of that comes from the people in the booth. Yep. If I know on fucking Mondays, right, I can get Taz and I keep forgetting his name, god damn it.
Excalibur.
Taz and Excalibur, like they have like their hyper analysis, like they've got like this really like finessed show where like it's real technical, like bam, bam, bam. And then Wednesday Night Wars, they've got like this other show with JR and Shivani, nice big names, big platform, big showcase. I think that would work really, really well.
Who's on the table in AEW Dark? Is it? I know Vickie has done a couple stints.
No. It's Excalibur and Taz.
And Taz. I know Vickie has done a couple spots too.
Yeah.
Yes, she's been a guest. Yeah.
Taz hasn't been on every week though. Like Taz is not a.
For the majority of it, yeah, he has.
Oh,
Really?
I love that you brought up Vickie there because that's going to take us to our next segment tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What is bumping this week? And Vickie has debuted as a manager for Nyla Rose this week. How are we feeling about that?
Wait, this is the same Vickie Guerrero you can catch in Shooting the Ish with us?
That's the one! That's the one!
Shout out to Tia Vickie.
Yes. Money. Listen,
Vickie Guerrero.
We have said that the women's division in AEW needs a little help. Is it a manager like Vickie Guerrero that could elevate Nyla Rose? Is she the mouthpiece she needed? We shall see. It intrigues me to see what can develop off of this.
Yeah, we know
definitely.
Vickie can bring the heat.
That's right.
Ooh, the Latino heat.
That's going to be big, man. You know, and you know what? You know why I have trust in it? Because look at the pairings that they've had thus far when it comes to managers in AEW that has worked. Most recently, Jake the Snake with Lance Archer. Beautiful pairing. You have what we were just talking about before. Taz with Brian Cage. That works because he needs that
yes,
help.
But I have a bone to pick with Taz. I don't know if y'all want to talk about it yet.
Based on Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah,
based on Fight for the Fallen. Yeah, we'll get to that.
I don't like
we'll get to it. Hey, you know it's another good pairing? Arn and Cody.
Arn and Cody. Beautiful pairing.
Arn and Cody.
Yo, but alright,
Tully and the Perfect 10.
Tully and yes,
Sean Spears.
Tully and Sean Spears and Arn Anderson and Cody.
You saw the glove?
By the way, did you see Tully? Did you see Tully observing FTR's match?
Yeah.
So what if a little faction they're trying to reignite the four horsemen, right? FTR, that's Arn and Tully, like hands down. So Sean Spencer, whatever, he's like the mid carder, right? So who's the leader of that pack? Who in AEW could be the face? Who could be the Ric Flair of that four?
Cody.
Ooh, yeah.
And
you have Tully and Arn backing that faction. Oh my god.
Or Cody, no.
Or
Cody
Tessa.
Always being the one to face them.
Or Tessa.
Taking over his dad's role.
Right. Remember, Dusty was not a four horseman, but he was always the one like knocking at him, right? Like he was.
And that's why I didn't put him in the contention. But hey,
yo, keep in mind who FTR was having a drink with at the bar.
Hangman's a nice addition. I mean, he's not a Ric Flair.
He's kind of a Barry Windham, mid card guy you elevate up to a world champ at some point.
So who
Yes.
Or is the Ric Flair not there yet?
I don't think he is.
So who's
Nick Aldis?
Oh.
I see why.
Hey. You know who's sitting on the 2020 Ric Flair? They're sitting on him. You know who that is? The WWE. Well, is Bobby Roode still contracted?
Glorious.
That man should have been the 2020 Ric Flair. Should have been.
I don't know.
Should have been, bro. You could have easily booked him with the robes, the style, make him a Triple H winner. But Ric Flair, fucking show off type fucking guy, yo, you can hold it off, man. And he wins matches.
I got a name.
I think I got a name too. Go for it.
I got a name. And I got a name that I think you'd like. I hate, but I got a name.
Baron Corbin.
At the E that hasn't quite re-signed yet, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong in all of this hype. But there's a name, baby, that needs a place. Maybe as the face of the Four Horsemen in AEW. Which is trash, because Adam Cole is sucking ass.
I mean, he does use the figure four as a finish. In ROH, he did use the figure four.
He's staying home.
He could definitely be that face. He could definitely be the Ric Flair, 100%.
What I really appreciate about AEW overall, though, and we really like fucking U-turn from the manager thing, but
yeah,
I appreciate is that they leave all seeds, right? Like they plant all the seeds. You plant as many seeds as you can, right? Oh, Tully is there watching FTR. That could be nothing. Like that could turn out to be nothing, right? Like, but the fact that he was there can be something. And now you're thinking about it, and now you're talking about it, and then maybe it disappears and it doesn't even matter. And then if someone asks them, they're like, "Oh, I was watching," and you know what I mean? Like it lends itself to very like natural programming when like you play with all the little parts, right? Ooh, tease Cody Rhodes heel turn, but he never turns. You tease a Kenny Omega heel turn, but he never turns. Tease everything, right? Like that's what builds tension because you're like, yo, Stone Cold, you always felt like he could snap. He was tagging with you. And you didn't know if he was on your side. Like he was always that guy that was a
anti-hero.
Because to me, it felt like they always explored like all these little dots, like everything that could happen except him fucking aligning with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you sound like you want to talk about that.
I've never spoken on this show, but maybe we should. Maybe we
You
should.
sound like you want to spin off and do something somewhere.
And you know what? That sounds a lot like what Mischief was talking about. Sounds a lot what WWE does with their house shows. And if you ever go to a house show, it's fun as fuck because you never know what can happen. You can have a crazy dream match out of nowhere that's not being televised, but for the house show, they'll try it out to see what sticks. And you're seeing AEW take these chances on live programming. And I think that's what WWE used to do more of back in the day, and they're not doing as much anymore. Taking those chances, like you said, you plant those seeds, see how they harvest. Look, we're excited. Potential 4 horsemen. That shit would be dope.
And maybe and the thing is, like, it doesn't even have to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it could never happen. It's
The
just
possibility is enough.
Who would manage that? Because even the
It's
horseman
like-
had
it's
a
like-
manager.
It's like when you tell your girl, babe, you trying to fuck? She's like, nah. I'm like, you really don't want to fuck either, but you want to just see if she's down. If she says
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm like, cool. I'm good with it. We don't have to. But
You could put J.J. Dillon in there. He's still
you
around.
out real quick. I'm scared for you right now on this journey. Listen,
What was that?
I
What was
think
that old school?
you bring in both Tully and Arn Anderson
Yeah.
and let them duel it out. My bad, old school. You gonna say something? What's up?
No,
Like
he said
J.J. Dillon's still around.
that's true.
Yo, you know what? Nah.
J.J. Dillon.
Why
Spoken to
don't
J.J.
you want to bring out the 80-year-old J.J. Dillon?
Listen,
We're going to bring out the
yo.
70-year-old Arn and... No.
I mean this. I've spoken directly to J.J. Dillon. Yo, don't do it.
Why?
Yo, I will not shit on him. But don't do it. Like, do not bring on J.J. Dillon, son.
There's just some people that don't make the transition. You know what I mean?
No, son,
No.
yo, nah, man, he don't even know what planet he's on, bro. Like, yo, don't. JJ is a non-functioning member of the wrestling community. Like, he
But
cannot.
listen. There's no hip hop artist that has Grandmaster Flash on a fucking feature. Like, ain't transitioned the right way, man. Just leave it alone. Rick James ain't on nothing.
You know what?
Eddie Murphy should not be
Let's
singing.
Let's be real. Hold on. Let's be real for a second.
But my girl party.
Party all the time. Party all
Think
the
of
time.
all the moments of the 4 horsemen.
Okay.
JJ Dillon was irrelevant. Irrelevant.
What?
Irrelevant, Joe.
What?
Uh-oh. Old school's about to kick some knowledge.
Irrelevant.
But you know why,
was
right?
the bumping manager you needed, right?
Exactly.
You couldn't.
He was
you
Jimmy
couldn't,
Hart.
Right. He was the guy that you took it out on because you didn't want to lessen any of the horsemen. You need that. You need the guy who can bump on the outside.
And the thing is, you had Ric Flair on the mic.
You know what you're telling me?
So you
know
didn't
what
need
you're
anything
telling
else.
me? You're telling me. What you're telling me is that a pillow could have done his job. Take a bump.
Una moda.
His job. Oh,
It's a
bump.
pillow.
Oh my God.
It's a pet.
wrestling manager taking a bump. How absurd of an idea. Yo, it's part of your fucking job. It shouldn't be a fucking miracle that you can take a bump as a manager. And you know what? As far as taking bumps are concerned and making coherent sentences together, I don't think J.J. Dillon is a good example of any of those things.
Wow.
Damn.
Facts.
I'm
just-
Are you saying J.J. Dillon is the Buff Bagwell of the NWO?
What the fuck?
Oh. Wow.
I don't. No, he's like the Mongo McMichael of.
What the fuck?
Mr. Barber Beefcake?
Old school's gonna blow up.
The chest.
Where
Did
the
we
fuck is
have
Kevin?
Bongo?
This is it. This is
Yes.
it. Old school.
Yes. Yes, I am.
But you know what? On the
My
topic of
God,
managers,
why don't you just bring him into the Titus O'Neil's?
But
Yo,
don't you think
Son,
it's overkill
Titus
though?
O'Neil would have thrived as a horseman manager. He would have been the legendary Titus
just don't have to
O'Neil.
walk down ramp.
Not the seventh person you talk about when you talk about the 4 horsemen. There's 4 of the motherfuckers, and J.J. Dillon is the 7th motherfucker you talk about.
7.
Yo,
Yo, JJ
7.
Dillon didn't even get. He's not a Hall of Famer, right?
yo, shit.
He didn't get a ring, yo.
Don't you think it's overkill to have a manager when you already had Flair? Like, you had Ric Flair.
That's why he was the bumping manager. That's fine.
It was a fucking straw man. So I don't know, man made of straw.
But he was Jimmy Hart. Why do you think Jimmy Hart brought a megaphone out to the ring? Because Hogan didn't let him speak at all during the interview.
That's the only way he could shut
He was trying to say in the crowd. Yeah.
Hogan kept going, yo, let me tell you, brother. He's like, not today, bitch.
If you want it, no. When that Hogan movie, the biopic of Hogan comes out, where Chris Hemsworth playing the role, like, I really hope that they really say the truth about Jimmy Hart. And the fact that him on his megaphone was making all in the audience pop. They weren't popping for Hogan. They were popping for Jimmy. I hope that it comes out in the biopic. I'm just saying.
Do you think they're going to capture the racism?
Oh, they are. They're talking about the case.
They have to. They have to.
It's about the case, so they're definitely going to talk about it. The sex scandal.
They have to.
Do you think they include his apology?
Yeah. Of course.
What apology?
You know what I'd really like
apology.
to see in there? I would like to see Booker T's promo.
Until we see his daughter Brooke married to an NBA player, I don't think there's an apology.
What?
Damn.
What?
Wasn't that the thing? Oh, I don't want him with basketball playing. You know what I mean? Like, unless James Harden put the ring on it.
I mean, like, oh, he's racist. That's crazy.
That's racist.
Until I see that, I'm like, okay.
That's racist.
That's racist. Like, y'all want to play That's Racist? Hulk Hogan.
You win.
So right now, it's a beautiful time in wrestling. There's a lot of great managers that are developing for talent. You look at cross promotions, and you can talk about great managers. We had a conversation about this last week. AEW is really hitting something on the hammer right there. I mean, this Nyla Rose pairing with Vickie, I was not seeing that coming. And I honestly didn't even think of that's what she needed.
Well, Nyla Rose had been talking about it, like, in the prior weeks. She was like, oh, I'm going to bring somebody. Everybody with the manager wins, so blah, blah, blah.
I like the good songs.
Excuse me! I don't know if she needed one. I don't know. But Vickie is always a good manager. I think that she understands the business, and I think she understands what people want and don't want. Like, I think she knows her role really well. Whatever it is, I think she knows it. Like, that's why she buys in. Like, when we did the Shoot in the Ish with Vickie Guerrero that you can find on SoundCloud and all our sound platforms, right? Vickie, like, she talked about that, like understanding the role that she's playing in the card, at what part in the show, and what have you. So, her on TV is a plus always. However, don't we think this is just overkill with the managers? Like, is this too much?
It's too much too soon.
I can give you one stable, at least, that may seem like overkill, but I don't think it is. The Selena Vega and Andrade with Angel Garza. At first, there was 4 guys, right?
I think it's 3. I think it was 3.
My bad. It was
Murphy?
3. It was 3.
Oh, no, yeah. 3. Austin Theory wasn't part of that for a little bit.
I was entertained with when they had all of them, and even now, so that he's gone, the whole situation with Garza and then Charlie and now Zelina too getting involved in it slowly, like lightly, but it's all entertaining. And I don't think it's gone bad at all. And it's a lot of people involved. It may look like overkill, but I'm good. I'm good with it.
I like this Zelina Vega, Angel Garza, Andrade thing. I like the tension. I never understood heel factions that got along. To me, right, especially when it's a bigger group, but like Andrade and Angel Garza aren't like tag team. They feel like 2 different title chasers,
It feels like The Rock and Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, that's not good news for Andrade.
Because
Garza's
he's Ron
the Rock.
Simmons.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I didn't like that Garza survived in the elimination on Monday versus Andrade. I think Andrade should have gotten that win, and Garza was the one eliminated. I see, but it's like they're kind of putting Garza a little bit. I think they haven't done enough with Andrade here.
I think it's them trying to set it up. Like they're really gonna go with Garza. Like he's gonna be
the next.
Garza could be the next Eddie.
Shawn Michaels to the Marty Jannetty of Andrade, which is.
But even if he's not,
a lot harsher,
not the great shit that whatever, like having a strong second guy is really good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, he beat Andrade today. That doesn't mean that he's like ahead of Andrade in the rankings. You know
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Andrade is still to me the more prestigious title chaser, and with that's what I'm saying. They can really. If you want to go like with a full Spanish faction, which it doesn't look like they're gonna do because they brought in Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy, but you could bring in like a Lucha House Party, right? Would turn them a little bit darker, more sinister, right? With the Zelina Vega, or you could bring in a different kind of tag team, and really have like a really strong faction that can always fight for bigger titles, because the two heads. Think Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Right now, hold on. I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that they're Shawn Michaels and Triple H, right? Like that's a whole crazy class. But in terms of like how they were both like intercontinental world heavyweight like position players, I think that it'll work out really good with them too. I think they need to find a tag team that'll rock with them.
So it's kind of the Horseman scenario where you have like the Ric Flair and then whoever you're gonna build to face Ric Flair.
No,
you don't have Ric Flair.
Right, the four.
I also feel though that I think it's just that Garza has enough charisma to eventually go on his own. I mean, Andrade has been elevated because of Selena, so that's to say that on the microphone, it's not his best asset at this moment. For Garza, we've been able to see that he can handle it, which is why he's shining through. I think they're just setting up the breakup. You know what I mean? I think eventually what you're gonna get is a Shawn Michaels situation. From either Garza or Andrade with Marty Jannetty. Somebody's going through a window.
Put the match on NXT, man. I want to see them do a real one-on-one. Don't give me a fucking 5-minute Raw match one-on-one. I'm not even going to see a one fucking...
If you give me a match like that, there has to be a bloodbath. There has to be a Hell in a Cell. There has to be something.
Cruiserweight champion on NXT?
Santos Escobar.
Yes, sir.
That dude is killing it right now, yo.
That's killing it.
Yes, but I kind of like.
That's who replaces.
Nah,
he has his own thing.
Hey,
that's his own thing.
He's killing it right now. If anything, I'd take Garza and Andrade and put them under this dude, cause true. His message, the message this guy's throwing out there, and he. Oh man, it's like he's mad at them fucking
you know what? He's mad at the wrestling industry in America and over the world putting luchadors as piñatas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's his message, and that's strong.
Is it that he's mad?
Huh?
Imagine Zelina Vega pitching that message. Right? And him under Zelina Vega. Now, he's a star on his own right. Then you got Andrade, and then you got Angel Garza. You got to drop one. We've said that Angel Garza feels like a single character. Like he feels like he's got the charisma to kind of hang on his own. It doesn't mean that Hijo de Fantasma doesn't.
No.
Because he does. I think it adds an element to him, and I think Angel Garza being dicked out of this group really adds like a sympathetic...
I think that's overkill.
Yeah.
I think that's overkill. This guy is just so leader. Like he's alpha male right now.
He's doing it on his own.
Killing. I can't see him under anybody. And Andrade, he's on his own too. I can't see him under anybody. He's already a main eventer that should be main eventing and should have multiple title reigns already. And that's not gonna happen. But
how about Roderick?
Who? Roderick Strong?
Oh,
Roger Stone.
Oh,
Roger Stone.
you mean Robert Stone?
Yeah, that guy.
Roger Stone.
About to get into politics real quick. I'm like, whoa.
Ese mismo.
So far, when he's not inebriated, he's pretty good. He helped, I think he's gonna build a little faction. He has some luring eyes. He did a lot of favors this week. I think something's gonna happen with him. I don't think we've seen the full potential. I'm just honestly like I didn't realize his in-ring career was over. Like I thought when he came to NXT, like we might see a resurgence, but this is the route we're going with it. Elevate the women. Elevate.
He could be like the y'all remember Colonel Parker from WCW?
Oh yeah.
Or if you go back further, he was
further back from Colonel Parker. Yeah, please.
Unfortunately, they're making him look like Drake Maverick.
The stud stable.
Unfortunately, they make him look like Drake Maverick out there, so I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Unfortunately.
They're flattering him right now.
What a
who's Taya Valkyrie's manager?
Taya.
Johnny Fresh or Johnny English? What the fuck is his name?
Johnny Swinger?
No. Taya Valkyrie's manager comes up with the fucking toy puppy.
The toy puppy.
Pablo, you're the only one that watches Impact. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow.
Speaking of Impact anniversary this Saturday, I'm excited. If you
he's the only one, ladies and gentlemen.
Know why JP Savage is excited? Tune in on Saturday. Saturday. Slammiversary pre-show is happening, folks. JP Savage, Victor Villain, the only two they're gonna be able to boggle with this amazing card.
So what you're saying?
Deanna Purrazzo go up against who?
Take Mama Pump.
That's right, Jordan Grace, and you're gonna have an alumni of Shooting the Shit, Austin Ace, and a triple tag. Or quadruple, actually, match. A fatal four-way.
It's a fatal four-way. Fatal four-way.
Mystery entrant for the Impact World Heavyweight title. I'm excited.
Apparently too excited. He's too excited.
It's going to go down this Saturday.
So what you're saying is that, listen, I don't watch Impact, but if I watch your pre-show, I'll understand what the fuck's going to happen on the show?
100%. You understand what's gonna happen? You're gonna know all the details.
So you gonna give me with the you the okay. Okay. Saturday,
Slammiversary, baby.
Slammiversary. A bunch of workhorses in that goddamn pay-per-view. Tell you right now. But we're gonna get more workhorses of our own.
Workhorses.
Yes. Speaking of the warhorse, he is a workhorse in himself. Mischief, why don't you talk to us about him a little bit if you're feeling in the mood.
TNT Championship is supposed to be the workhorse title. Workhorse. We're talking about the guy that's really going to carry the middle of the show, right? Really put on a solid performance. Really going to leave the fans wanting more. Set everybody's palate up for the main event. These guys, right, are your Intercontinental guys, your U.S. champion guys, right? These are the guys that really, really set the tempo of the middle of the show, really set everybody up, and really put on great shows. And TNT Championship really hasn't lived up to its potential as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
It's kind of like a TBS championship right now.
Man.
more like PBS.
PBS,
Reading Rainbow.
That's it is the Reading Rainbow of open challenges as far as I'm concerned.
Hey,
right?
that was informative.
Now, I'll take it back. All right, the matches have not been
And Cody can't read.
solid. But the open challenge itself, I mean, like, we haven't gotten anything that it's an open challenge, goddammit, we can get anybody. What are you afraid of, Cody Rhodes? Warhorse is sitting right in front of you. Arn Anderson has heard the name. You have too. And all we see is ducking. We don't see you addressing this at all. Even when Arn Anderson said it this. So I'm really disappointed in the fact that Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the son of a plumber, the guy that really set up NXT, and it's really interesting to see these Wednesday Night Wars develop against your dad's creation. But a really solid opportunity for you to show that Rhodes valor, those balls that your dad showed throughout his whole career, and the balls that you've shown throughout balls. You live up to that expectation. You got a Rhodes name, and you've done a hell of a job up to this far. It'd be a damn shame for you to walk away from it now. Warhorse is calling, baby. The TNT title he deserves around his waist, but at least give him a shot at it. Or not.
He knows karate, dickhead.
And we'll know where you at.
The ruler of all
Cuba.
asses.
Dímelo, Cuba. Hey.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, Cody, show us your balls and let him rule your ass.
Because he knows karate, dickhead.
It's all that was just said. That was all of that in a nutshell right there. Right? Did I get it?
More
balls and let him rule your ass.
More nuts and shell.
Damn.
More nuts and shell.
That's the message, but that's the message. I think that's the name of the episode. Show your balls and rule your ass.
I bet you that's the most searched phrase on YouTube.
Nah, that's Pornhub, not YouTube.
God, I don't want to know who's searching that on YouTube.
Oh, man.
Oh, they will.
I expect a war of
Gory Gallic.
ASAP. What do you think? I think we need to see
Rory Gulak, you said?
No, not Gulak. No. Really? No. Wait. Wait. No.
Suéltalo, está caliente. Está
Time out. Déjeme. Ajá.
Okay.
I bet you he likes war horses. You know what I mean.
What?
Yeah.
Hey. Oh,
Take
man.
a double
I'm
stomp
just
to
saying,
balls any
Cody.
day. What?
Workhorse.
You guys are despicable.
Workhorse carries your show. Who are some workhorses we got?
Who's the hottest workhorse right now? And
Well, we got two of them in WWE, Sasha and Bailey. They're on 3 shows. They're doing what Charlotte was doing before she left.
So you mentioned Charlotte. Charlotte is the epitome of being a workhorse.
Charlotte.
Yeah, we start with her. Definitely, for sure. Charlotte, number 1. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, yo. Seth Rollins. You know what's interesting about Seth Rollins and this particular angle with Rey Mysterio? This has been going on since December.
That's crazy.
Think about that. They've written a storyline that's gone 7 months.
With Rey?
Is it any good?
In December, Rollins jumped Rey, and he said some bullshit. Eye for an eye. That could have been completely accidental. Someone found that shit on the Twitter sphere, and I saw that, and I was like, "Yo, goddamn, that's really interesting." We haven't seen.
Listen, he's been watching too much on the Umbrella Academy. That's what happened. Fuck out of here.
The Umbrella. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the Umbrella Academy is.
From Raccoon City? Umbrella?
Nah.
Fuck those
they
guys.
Still searching
Umbrella,
for number 8? They still searching for number 8?
I think they're behind COVID. That motherfucker
Resident
started
Evil
COVID.
was trash, yo. You liked Resident Evil?
Yo, Resident Evil 2 and 3, yo, favorite games. Though.
Garbage number 1 and garbage number 2.
Shout out to Mario Kart.
It was originally called Biohazard, which is what it was.
Yo, that shit was toxic waste. Man, I hate Resident Evils. That shit was
called BioShock.
BioShock. No, BioShock's the Xbox game, you dumb fuck.
Yeah.
This guy, man. I never played that one.
So I think a workhorse that's getting a title shot this Sunday has to be mentioned is Dolph Ziggler. What is he going to adapt to? But I have no idea. But he is definitely a workhorse. He can go in the ring. He can go with anybody. Ultimate Son.
Years experience too.
Well, how would you feel? Now that you brought up his name, I was going to say this before, but I kind of forgot. How would you feel if he was the name that went and became that 4th horseman?
Yes, I was gonna say it. I forgot about it, but yes.
That isn't
Ziggler?
that form, yo, Joe? That should be crazy.
I don't know if Ziggler, because Ziggler's on he just signed an extension, and the E gives him his flexibility to explore his comedic career as well. So I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
That would be interesting. My thing is just why can't he start a faction in the E, man? We've mentioned his name in the past. Like, he will work with anybody, man.
He's too short. Vince says he's too short. He's
What are
only
you gonna do
5'10".
about Adam Cole? What are you gonna do about Adam Cole?
He goes to 205.
Exactly what he's gonna do.
He goes to 205.
You know exactly, yo. Adam Cole's gonna come and he's gonna fucking look at Finn Balor in the main roster.
Listen, Finn Balor had his chance and he got hurt, and then fucking Vince was like, that's why I don't give these fuckers chances.
But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Finn Balor
It was his workhorse's fault.
Seth Rollins.
So here's the thing. Finn Balor looks better than Adam Cole. Adam Cole looks like a little kid.
Yeah, Finn Balor had
Body-wise.
it. It was just chiseled.
But Finn Balor had the demon.
Mhm.
Adam Cole ain't got shit.
He's got undisputed.
Baby.
Got undisputed.
He got no crowd, baby. Ain't shit.
Yeah, he
man.
does.
His girlfriend is a dentist, baby.
He's gonna work with Owens.
Greatest
He's
teeth on
gonna
the
definitely work with
roster.
Owens.
Listen,
If he's not,
he
if
got
he's
a
done
pop
with
in wrestling.
Undisputed,
he got a pop in Royal Rumble. He's gonna get a pop in the E, and then a SmackDown Raw. Put him wherever you want. He's gonna get a pop. It's Adam Cole, baby. Respect.
Yo,
Fucking
Adam
403
Cole.
days as the NXT champion. Fucking putting in work during
Adam
COVID.
Cole around
You said what?
Survivor
How many
Series
days?
last year.
How many
Did you
days
guys-
was NXT champion?
403.
Yo, remember Jamarcus Russell won the Heisman Trophy?
so did Charlie Ward.
I'm just saying. Yo, Vince Young had a Heisman Trophy. I'm just
So
throwing that out there.
you dare compare an upcoming legend like Adam Cole to Jamarcus Russell?
Remember when Bo Dallas was the NXT champion?
Me neither.
I can't believe that shit.
Oh my God.
And he had that banging ladder match with Neville.
Yes.
Remember
I do
Neville?
remember
Neville was an
that
NXT
match.
champion too.
Yo,
My
Neville-
God, those names were amazing names to watch
Does
in
Neville
NXT at
wrestle?
that time. Yeah, yo, and
Just stuck
he
overseas,
was
man.
they had battles, him and Bo Dallas.
Neville
him
was a
and
great
Sami
champion,
Zayn.
man.
But
Yeah.
where is he? Where is he? I haven't seen that motherfucker.
Overseas, bro. Overseas,
Yeah.
bro. Which one?
UK.
COVID, bro. Come on,
In your
puppy.
mom's closet.
With that big ass
yo.
forehead.
My big ass forehead.
No Neville's.
It's called the
Speaking
widow's
of
peak,
receding
man. Just
hairline.
leave it alone, all right? Jesus Christ.
Yo, you remember Jerry Rice? His year with the Raiders.
Neither.
His cornrows started right here, right at the top of this cap. He looked wearing like a wig, or like, you know when you put the hoodie on just your
Yeah.
head,
Yeah.
right? So he put the hoodie.
He's wrong
Yo.
for that, yo.
It's just
He's
slipping
wrong
off.
for that.
That's what
Yo,
that shit looked like.
he looked-
Cornrows was just slipping
He
off.
said
Yo.
right here.
That
Yeah, he
right
looked
here.
worse.
But Neville's hair looks like brown ramen noodles. So that shit is
Yeah.
all wiry ass shit started in the middle of his skull, yo.
Yo, he looked worse than Jerry Rice because he looked like Stephen A. with cornrows.
Stephen A.
Hey. That he say salute like this.
Yo,
That is absurd. That is absurd. Yo, speaking of cornrows, Scottie Pippen just got cornrows trying to look like Future because
Wow.
Scottie
like his
Pippen.
white back.
What is it with these
Apparently.
sports guys and these fake sports things? Football, basketball, and baseball, they're all fake. Yeah, it's a popular
It's
opinion,
predetermined.
but it's how I feel and it's the facts I know.
Oh yeah, Vic.
Oh.
If it was fake, then why do the Knicks suck?
You know, was
They
one
do it
fact
on
I do know.
purpose.
You know, was
They
one
do
fact
it
I do
It's
know.
scripted. Many would say it's
Scripted.
scripted.
You know,
Hey,
what's
what's
one
the most
fact I do know?
successful franchise? The Knicks and the Lakers. But it's fake.
One
I don't
fact I
think
do
the
know
most
is
successful
that
franchises, but
one fact I do know is that they are this week introduced Fight for the Fallen as Fighter Fest. And that shit slid. Nobody said nothing. So welcome to Fighter Fest, folks. We're here.
Yeah, for
night 3.
And everybody was like,
for night 3.
Third week. Change the graphics. The graphics.
Yo.
Fighter Fest.
Yo, listen to me. Excalibur.
Move it back a week.
Excalibur. Listen to me. That's when you have to say some shit.
This guy, bro.
Yes. Fight for the Fallen.
That's how Excalibur
folks. Come on, man.
Super
Excalibur about to go back to PWG. Just live his life.
Excalibur, did you not see Titanic? You could both fit on the door, man. Both of you could fit on the fucking door.
One of you gonna freeze to death, but y'all can fit. Oh man, gentlemen, who can give me an unpopular opinion from this week, maybe from this month, something that you feel may not resonate with the fans out there or with most?
Vince McMahon doesn't give a fuck about COVID.
I feel that's a popular.
That's a popular statement.
I feel that's a fact.
It's quite obvious.
Yeah.
I feel like AEW's tag division isn't as great as everyone makes it out to be.
I think I agree with you.
AEW's?
Yeah.
Yeah, like think about it, right? Like who's really on their roster? I mean, they don't have bad teams. I'm not saying that they're bad teams. They're not really. I think Butcher and the Blade are punching above their weight class right now, right? Like they're really like that's not where they belong, but they're doing a good job with that, so good for them.
And they're rookies on the game.
When you compare them to any other company, who are they losing to? Or who's better, I guess?
Briscoe's for sure. New Day for sure. Private Party for sure.
No, the divisions, not the tag teams. I mean the division. Like the tag division in AEW is better than who's. Yeah.
You know what it's like saying? It's like saying if there was no Major League Baseball, right? But then there was this one really shitty AAA team. That shitty AAA team is like the best baseball team in the world.
So who's Major League Baseball? The E?
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, market share wise,
because I'm not feeling the Street Profits and Viking Raiders fucking unnecessary bullshit basketball games and golfing and shit. And
that's
AEW
due to COVID,
putting
though.
up AEW had tag matches. And they didn't have to do none of that shit. Kenny Omega and Adam Page have been having bangers. And I mean, I may be tired of them, but at least they're putting on they're putting up something.
Wait, are you trying to tell
so basically they're getting a participation trophy? Is that it?
If that's what you want to give them.
Wait a minute. Last week on this motherfucking show, because we're live on Thursdays at 10:30 Eastern, motherfuckers, on YouTube.
This way.
You trying to tell me we just talked about the fact that there's a lot of tag teams developing through all the promotions, and there's an emphasis on tag teams. And you're going to talk shit about it the week right after?
Yeah. The tag teams, yes. The matches that they
welcome to the show, bitch.
What we've been seeing, no. Like... You guys like that Street Profit shit? The basketball games and shit?
You know what? You're right.
I couldn't stand that shit.
I hated it, but remember this. There's a reason why Kevin Owens fucking started screaming.
But what's the last tag team match you saw in WWE that excited you? Or NXT doesn't count, I guess, right? Because
NXT should count.
It should count.
Why not?
It should count.
NXT, I guess, could definitely be a better brand than
100%
than AEW. I just don't think I see anything on Raw or SmackDown that's better than anything really.
Unfortunately, that's just the reality right now, man. That's the state of the business right now, and people are like especially when you talk about tag team, you're asking another individual, 2 more, 4 people to be able to be healthy. That's tough. In these current states.
You need a lot of personnel, a lot of staff to show up to work, and they don't even have that right now.
I think that's the reason why you can see a lot of more single wrestlers being paired up if you want to have a tag team match, just in case. If somebody gets sick, he can still have a single run. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't interrupt the tag team.
Yeah.
For sure. Yo, Mischief just disappears and shit. He went to go get beer at the stands. What the fuck is going on right now?
I think he has diarrhea.
I think he broke the seal.
True here. So I think it's about that time for HBC of the week.
Oh,
yeah, I think we got to get into some heels. Who killed it for this week, man? Wait, before we get there, an unpopular opinion. If for any miracle Dolph Ziggler wins the championship this Sunday, it's not going to be a great reign. Unfortunately,
he's not going to win. There's no way he's not going to win. No. Ziggler is the sacrificial lamb. Like he's the.
You don't think like they'll finally get if they give him the title now? I think I'm trusting you over Drew McIntyre. I better write something.
Ziggler's become the modern day Brooklyn Brawler at this point.
Yeah.
like he coming out there to get his ass kicked.
Wow, and put new talent over.
That's his job. Oh, you coming up from NXT? Hold on.
Yup.
Listen,
that's right. Ziggler's out here he's putting over all the new talent like Bill Goldberg.
Concussion City.
Listen. After Amy,
the guy I was thinking of. But.
After Amy Schumer came out talking about that he's too active during sex, it all went downhill for him, bro. You need to stop helicoptering, bro. Like,
not for him.
Keep to the basics, bro. Keep to the fucking basics.
I think he kept it up. Playboy.
He was trying to steal the show. That was his problem.
That's
Ziggler needs the Izod center to
hubris.
Back up.
All right, here's Pop's chair shots of the week. All right,
let's do it.
I'm gonna go. I think every week I pick somebody from the inner circle, right? And it's usually Chris Jericho, and it's Chris Jericho. So he was great on commentary. He was consistent, right? Which I appreciate. I appreciate consistency. He brought up his jacket all fucking night, right? He was doused in orange juice in Tang, right? And Ortiz exploded as a human being. He looked like there was salt on a slug. I thought he was having a stroke. It was amazing. And then I hated it. And then I think I loved it again. But Jericho, I thought, just was great because he took it, right? And then he had like the towel moment, right? Where he was like wiping himself clean with the towel. It was a little too like obvious, but I wish it was more like messy. But it was funny, right? Like Jericho's just funny. Like he does a good job being funny. So heel of the week, Chris Jericho.
Okay. Heel of the week? I thought we were doing Pop of the week. God damn it.
You interrupted heel of the week, you bitch.
Yo, for real.
And go back to stuff we had already closed. You're like, oh, hold on. Let me get to that bus after it left. And then you jumped on it. And I didn't know we missed the stop we hadn't gotten to yet.
La próxima.
Shout out to Union City buses.
Who else?
Right.
That's my heel of the week. Union City buses. For the transportation.
My heel of the week is gonna go, and it might come up in my Pop of the week as well. But I'm gonna go with what happened at the end of NXT. What? What happened at the end of NXT?
With Dakota Kai?
The champion retain and Dakota Kai con la pata in the face. Knowing that, you know what? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, in 2020, she was the future star of NXT. Winner. Dakota Kai's going to be the next champion.
She was a breakout star. Star.
So it makes sense because Io Shirai looks like she wants to go back to Japan, bro. Especially after the hubby won 3 belts. I don't know. I don't know. Something's evil.
Why you gotta bring up my pop of the week, you son of a bitch?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Tell me about it.
Talk to him.
We're gonna talk about.
I didn't hear a word you said. Hibbity hoopla!
Old school. His mic popped. His mic popped. That was the pop of the week.
That was his pop of the week. Literally fucking popped so loud that his mic popped. But yes, evil defeats Naito. Go ahead, talk to him. He's back.
I'm back. So wait. So what I was gonna say was he won the New Japan Cup, and then he won the titles from Naito, the Intercontinental and the IWGP Heavyweight title, and then he still holds the never open weight 6-man tag or 3-man tag.
Never open. Never open.
With Los Ingobernables, who he turned on to join the Bullet Club as their leader because Jay White is still in New Zealand.
Wow. And New Zealand has big bugs.
We got
Yo, I got a bunch of chair shots. So let's get the fucking pops out of the way. What else you got?
Oh man, pop of the week. I got one here. It's gotta be Vickie Guerrero. Debuting. She's back. She's gonna bring some life to the stories in Nyla Rose's and the women's division. So I can't wait to see that. I definitely popped big time when Vickie Guerrero came out.
Pretty Chubbs, who else made a debut?
Who else made a debut besides me and your mom's closet?
Wow.
That's
I don't even think you've ever seen your dick, so that's another situation. How about Darby Allin? Right? Darby Allin made his re-debut from his injury, popping Brian Cage in the mouth.
En la cara.
Big pop.
En la boca.
That'd be
Con
that's gonna
el
lead
skateboard.
Let's go to our chair shot.
My pop was definitely the orange juice bath. It brought me back to 90s WWF, comedic Degeneration X fucking stunts, Stone Cold stunts. That's what it brought me back to. The fact that they fucking splashed all that tang. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that shit was tang. That was that powder shit.
Let's tang about it, baby.
You know that? Or you making that shit up? I don't believe
it's they're not gonna waste that much money on orange.
Wait. So you don't think that was Tampico for La Roca?
It could have been Tampico. Wait a minute, it could have been. That was definitely orange drink.
Lo toca un poquito, le sale un chorrito.
It was definitely orange drink. It wasn't orange juice. It was orange drink.
Yep.
Orange drink. Orange.
But when that shit happened,
speaking of orange,
upside down, it was great. They're squeezing the fuck out of that feud.
Shut up already, bitch. Let's talk about some chair shots.
Wait a minute. Who you calling?
This other orange piece of shit, Taz, throw it in the towel. How did y'all feel about that?
Why? Why?
You talked all this shit.
Why?
You talked all this shit the whole fucking month about this guy Brian Cage is the future and he's a bad motherfucker.
If you're a heel, you don't throw in the towel.
That's weird to me, dude.
You throw in his towel.
See, the
Even
thing
though he
is,
had submission.
You get his mom to come in and throw the towel like they had.
You put his mom on a pole.
Listen, simpletons. The thing is that you're worried about winning the battle when you have to win the war. And Taz understood that his client recently just had surgery. And that's exactly was the game plan that Moxley went into the ring with. So at that moment, he needed to think about the longevity of their partnership. If Moxley would have kept going and fucking broken that fucking shoulder, bicep, whatever the fuck was, it would have been a wrap.
Can someone else explain to me how he had the shittiest armbar on too?
Bro.
Armbar.
I don't know. That shit was weird as hell.
And it rolled over, so it wasn't like he was applying pressure. He was kind of just humping his arm at the end.
He was.
What else we got? What other fucking chair shots we got?
JR opening up for Fighter Fest for the third time.
All right. How about
Brave
bullshit?
Honestly, I'm gonna give a chair shot to the NXT main event this week, man. Tegan Knox and Io Shirai just didn't bring it. It was not the match that people were expecting. It was not what it was. But off night maybe, I don't know. But it was very, very predictable. A lot of shaky spots. Tegan Knox, unfortunately, was the one that didn't seem up to par, and Io didn't seem impressed. She didn't seem like she was feeding off that energy.
I feel like Io Shirai had to slow it down for Tegan Knox because Tegan Knox is moving a little slower.
I just
100%.
She's moving a lot slower. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
100%.
Christina.
I can see that.
You know what's
see that.
you know what's not predictable though? That's all the time we have for you folks, guys.
Wait!
I don't care where you
There's so
got the
many
damn
chair
shit from.
shots!
I don't
There's
care
so many
where you
chair
got it,
shots!
because I know you got it
But
from
why you
every
gonna end it
damn
now?
platform.
People want to hear more. You want to hear
Pretty
more?
chubby.
Don't
Why
wrestle
don't you tell
Cameron
them more?
Grimes, he fingers butts!
Pretty chubby, tell them what they can do.
Check us
I'll
out.
let you know more on.
The new Barry Corbin.
Yo,
Check
there's
us
gonna
out
be a
on
digital
Facebook,
eyeball removal on Sunday. It's gonna
Instagram,
be
and
awful.
Twitter.
What
Heels,
about
pops, and chair
NWA being
shots.
shut down, but not really?
Fuck
Oh
them.
my God.
Damn.
Folks,
Check
make
us
sure
out
to
on
tune in.
YouTube.
Make sure to tune in for the Slammiversary pre-show. Make sure to tune in also for the Extreme Rules pre-show happening on Saturday and on Sunday. All collective
Saturday.
shows.
Saturday.
Kings of the pre-show, baby, we're back.
Make sure to
And make sure to get your fly swag at Foco.com. HPC10 is your code to
Wait,
save
what?
you 10%.
Mother what?
Mothers,
Make sure to
HPC10,
get all
get
of
your
the
Mother's Day gift,
media,
Father's Day gift,
NHL,
NBA.
NBA, golf. If you're
Man,
into
shut the
fucking
fuck up, dude.
they have it.
BBW.
HPC10, 10 counts of 10 toes. See y'all next week. Peace.